Hi, everyone. Are you interested in teaching abroad, but you're wondering if you need special certifications to do so? The answer is yeah, but luckily I am here to walk you through which ones you need and, if you stick around to the end, how to obtain them. If you're new here, my name is Javonna MaeRhys. I'm a holistic life and career coach who works with educators to help them craft a fulfilling career abroad because I have done it after 20 years in education. I left my principal position, sold my house, and moved my family to the island of Borneo, where I am teaching English and absolutely loving it. So if the idea of possibly doing that sounds appealing, make sure you subscribe. This is the first or actually we're in the second video of my 5-day series that tells you what you need to do to prepare to make that step. So again, subscribe so you don't miss any content and like this video. Okay, so let's start off with the one that most of you are probably familiar with, and that is the TEFL certification, TEFL, and that's Teaching English as a Foreign Language. And this is the certificate that most people will get because it is if you want to teach in a country where English is not the native language. And so within this course, you will learn a lot about teaching ESL strategies. And for those of you who are in Texas, which is where I came from, especially if you're teaching English, you probably already have an ESL certification. And so many of these techniques are ones that you are already using. The certification just ensures when international schools are looking at your resume that you do have the qualifications, you do have the skills necessary to teach English as a foreign language. And so that is the first and most well-known and popular certification. It's the one that I have as well. Now, if you've been doing a little bit of research, you may not have heard of this next certification, and this one is called a TESL, T-E-S-L. And that is Teaching English as a Second Language. Did I get that right? Yes, I did. Teaching English as a Second Language. Okay, because I wasn't familiar with this one. And this one is actually good for people who want to teach in a country where English is the primary language. Okay, so you would be teaching people who are, in Canada, in the UK, in other countries where English is a primary language. And so teachers who are TESL certified are usually teaching in a private school or some kind of private language academy to people within a country who need to speak English or English. For example, newcomers to the country, recent immigrants, and so that would be your focus if you have a TESL certification and want to work in a country where English is the native language. It's not your only option, of course. You can also use your TEFL certification, but that's a very specific certification that you might want if you're looking to work in that kind of situation. The next certification is TESL, which is Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. And it kind of combines the TEFL and the TESL together, and it kind of goes over both sides of it. You'll learn a lot of ESL strategies, and this one is really if you want to be able to teach in a place where English is not the primary language or where it is. And let me just say that these certifications are not just for English teachers, okay? So if you are teaching math, if you're teaching art, if you're teaching theater, you can go abroad and you can teach. These certifications let employers know that you have the skills necessary to properly educate those children based on language, because you're going to be using language no matter what subject area you're teaching. So I don't want to confuse you because we're talking about teaching English, and although I'm an English teacher, I know plenty of people who are teaching other subjects abroad, and that is a possibility for you as well. There are some other certifications that you can get, for example, the CELTA, but I'm not going to talk about those in this video because those certifications are a little pricier and require a little more time, but you can let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video about those certifications, because those can really make your resume or your CV stand out to potential employers. But what I want to talk about now is, why do you need this? Like, if you are a teacher and you've been teaching for quite some time, why do you need these certifications? Well, number one, because it's a requirement. Most places, they want to see you have to have this certification. And as I've already mentioned, it lets them know, by them I mean the school, of course, it lets them know that you have some specific training in how to work with students who don't have English as their first language. All of these schools are looking at how to increase achievement, how to help their students be successful. And so they want to make sure, if they're bringing in someone from another country, that that person has some training that is going to allow them to connect with those students and to be able to help them reach those levels of success that the school has set. Okay, so if you made it this far, now we're at the part where I talk about how to obtain these certifications, where to obtain these certifications, because that's the nitty-gritty, right? And so the good news is that these certifications, if you just do a Google search, you can find all manner of places that are offering these certifications. But you want to make sure that you look at the accreditation of each of these certifications. I will put a link in the description below to one for each of the certifications that is a good option for you. But I'm going to tell you personally, the TEFL certification, if you've already been a teacher, you've been in the classroom working with students, especially if you're in a state or area that has a high ESL population, then you would be best served by getting a TEFL certification, because it encompasses skills that you've already learned as you are working with the ESL population. And also, it is one of the less expensive certifications to get. In fact, when I got mine years ago, I got it on Groupon, and I paid less than $50 for my certification. And I just checked a few minutes ago, and there are still TEFL certifications on Groupon that you can get for $39. And there's self-paced programs that you go through, and then you take a test, and then you receive your certificate. So if you are already a teacher and you've already been working with an ESL population, that would be my suggestion, because that is what I did as well. But if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of experience with an ESL population, or if you're watching this video and you're not teaching, then you may want to sign up for a course that has a live component, whether that's in person or online. But for my teachers that I'm talking to, the ones who have been teaching for a while, who are, considering, do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to keep putting myself through this? And I've always thought about living abroad. Could I make those two things work together? This is for you. Take the TEFL certification and you won't regret it. And if you do take it, make sure you reach out in the comments and let me know how it went. And if you have any suggestions for anyone else who might be watching this video, be sure to put those in the comments as well. So I try to keep this short and sweet and to the point so that you can take this advice and then actually implement it. If you feel like you need some more assistance, I'll put a link to my clarity conversation in the description below so that we can get on a call and decide if me coaching you through the process is something that will be helpful, so that we can get you to the beach, the mountains, or wherever it is that you want to go enjoy life as you also enjoy your passion for teaching. So that is all for now. I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.